So markets are busy trying to work out the next moves of Europe's central banks. But if one economist had his way, they'd have one less decision to worry about. Professor Willem Buiter from the London School of Economics says there's no reasonable argument for the UK not to join the euro, despite opinion to the contrary.
I wouldn't take the evidence from markets as the arbitrator of whether my views are right or not. I do believe that the UK is simply too small, too open, especially too financially open an economy to benefit from exchange rate flexibility. It will not be hurt in any way by joining a larger area from the point of view of macroeconomic stability, and from the point of view of financial stability they would gain.
But doesn't the argument that the UK is on a different macroeconomic path and doesn't walk always in step with the Eurozone or with the US, doesn't that argument still stand?
And it certainly is true, but that only matters if you believe that monetary policy can systematically stabilize the business cycle, and I think that is a fallacy. All you can deliver is price stability in the medium term, and Britain can do that as well in the Eurozone as outside it, and it gains in terms of macroeconomic stability as well as the precursor to the joys of federalism.
You say that the UK is a small economy, and you make comparisons with Iceland as well. I know that some of that is possibly for dramatic effect, but we are talking, okay, it's small perhaps compared to some, but by the extension of that argument, you would put all of these smaller currencies into some sort of monetary union. I mean, it's not that small.
No, well, Britain is about 4% of world GDP, world trade. So it's a price taker in international goods markets, in international financial market. That's what small in economic terms make. It doesn't have any market power in the world economy, so it's small in that sense. From the point of view of macroeconomic financial stability and the comparison with Iceland, all I was saying is that a British banking system, like the Icelandic one, has a large share of its activity abroad and denominated in foreign currency. So it needs a lender of last resort, a market maker of last resort, that can provide liquidity in foreign currency. The Bank of England can only really provide liquidity in sterling. So in that sense there is a hole in terms of lender of last resort, the market maker of last resort provision, which the ECB doesn't have because the euro is a world currency. And sterling used to be a world currency, but ceased to be so about 50 years ago.
Does that mean that you think that the ECB has pricing power then, in terms of all these commodity markets that are busily pushing us all around at the moment?
Not in commodity markets.
Just because you join a bigger currency union doesn't give you pricing power, does it?
Not in commodity markets, but it does have a very different position in international financial markets because the euro is a global reserve currency. There's about 27% of global reserves, foreign exchange reserves. Now the US is of course the elephant in the book still. It's about 60 plus 63%, but the UK is 5%, and while the euro is raising its share, the UK is fading out slowly. So yes, the UK would be a lot safer in terms of its financial stability if it were part of the euro area.
Politically, you know as well as I do that this would be tough to sell to the British people at times when the economy is working well. Things are not working well right now. There is no chance of this happening, is there?
Well, who knows? Many skeptics have doubted that Britain would ever join the European Union. So I think in due course they will. Not yet, because there are still a lot of economic and political Neanderthals in the country, but these are dying tribes, and they will in due course be replaced by more enlightened cohorts that will want to join.
I try not to take offence. I try not to take offence, Professor Buiter, at your comments. You say, though, you go one step further than saying that this is about the economy. You say that this is about further political union, and that's where you lose support for your argument in the UK, perhaps.
One has to be open about it. Joining a monetary union is a political act as well as a monetary and financial and economic act. It means a transfer of sovereignty to a supranational body. It has a lot of symbolic power because with a flag, an anthem and a football team, the currency often defines a nationhood. I think it's time to shed that inhibition.
That was Professor Willem Buiter joining us from the London School of Economics.